Okay, this title of the video is not a lie. I was actually in a Netflix documentary, and I will post a clip here or whatever. So yeah, you may be like, how? Why? What? If you're watching this, I don't really expect anyone to watch these, you know. But apparently someone found my YouTube channel and then commented, hey, can we use your clips? And I'm like, this is fake, because, you know, the only comments I get are from anti-feminist white men. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna ignore that. And then I got another comment, and I was like, this is a little weird, because, you know, I'm very skeptical. I'm a teenager on the internet. Then they found my Tumblr, and I was like, okay, so this person, like, isn't a bot. They gave me an email, so I looked at the website, and then I was like, they're gonna have my mom reach out, because, you know, teenager on the internet, right? And then, wouldn't you know it, I'm in a documentary now. Well, my YouTube clips are in a documentary now. So, you know, 14 views on YouTube in a documentary. It's pretty cool. So I wanted to talk about it because it's a very good documentary and it touches on things that I talk about on this channel. So anyways, the name of the documentary is Operation Varsity Blues, a college admissions scandal. It's on Netflix. You can watch it. It's very good. I recommend you do, because I'm going to be talking about it. And I wanted to talk about my college admissions process in this video and how I think it differs a little from other people's and what I think we should be moving towards and stuff like that, while also talking about the documentary, which I think I'll do first, just so we can get that out of the way. Obviously, this isn't like, I don't even know what you'd say, like sponsored or anything. I was just put in it and I wanted to talk about it. It was made by the same guy who produced Tiger King, which I know to some people is either like, oh my god, that's really cool, or to some of you it sets off red alarms because there's some issues with Tiger King and the ethics of it, because they took out parts of Joe Exotic's terrible behavior to kind of give you like a central figure to root for, and that's like a whole issue in itself. But, you know, overall it's very entertaining, and this one with Christmas as the helm actually is very, at least to me, it seems very informative. The only weird thing is the reenactments of the phone calls, which I think are a very smart decision, which I think made more of an impact watching these people do it, and they were supposedly real phone interactions. The documentary itself follows, the best I can say is the Lori Loughlin situation, where she and her husband pay to get Olivia Jade into USC. And then it follows Rick Singer, who's the guy who essentially created a side door to get into these big colleges. Of course, when he's found out after being wiretapped, he then throws everyone else under the bus. It's a lot of other people throwing each other under the bus, which is how this is uncovered, because rich people are just like, the laws only apply to other people, and so they're all fine dishing each other out so that only some of them go to prison. And then of course they don't go to prison for very long, you know, because criminal justice system messed up. This is not the video for that, but this is the video to talk about applying to colleges, because that's what I had to do this year. Woo! It was so much fun and exciting, and I loved it all the time. What we get in the documentary is how applying to colleges impacts kids, and it shows images of kids just like crying over not getting into colleges. And what it really highlights is the allure of college and how kids all have to go to their dream school, like these Ivy League schools, you know, Stanford, Harvard, USC, Brown. But what they point out is all these schools are really ranked under prestige, which comes from a French word, and it means to see. If you get into these schools, you are automatically seen as the most smartest, most amazing, most talented, brightest person ever. And that's true. When I hear people are going to these schools, I'm like, oh my god, like I don't even deserve to be around these people because they're so freaking amazing. It's a status symbol. So that's why parents want their kids to get in it. And that's why this scandal even happened, is because these colleges are seen as a sign of social status, and there's something that kids seek after. They might not even provide the best education. They're shown as prestigious, like exclusive universities. And that's just because they get a lot of people who want to go there. It's not even because they might be the best. First of all, this is so dumb, because students want to go to expensive colleges and feel like they have to be so smart and have leverage and take classes. And in the documentary, they mention how students will drop orchestra so they can take another AP class, which is something I've actually seen happen where kids have been convinced to drop classes that they enjoy, anything they have fun with, just to add that other AP anatomy or anything. Like, they already know this is not something I want to do with my life, but I need to be the smartest, I need to do the best, because that's the only way that I personally have value in this world, and that's the only way that I'm going to be able to succeed in life. Like, I have to have all these status symbols because only so many people succeed in life, and if I don't have these, I'm just a stupid failure, and I'm awful, and I'm a terrible human being. And you may be like, Anne, you're over-exaggerating. Nope, no I'm not, because I have felt exactly this way, and I have seen so many kids just feel this exact same way. And the colleges perpetuate this. In fact, the scandal makes these colleges look even better because they show that rich people are willing to cheat their way into these schools because they're highly sought after. Students will do things that are so detrimental to their health, like staying up late to study. And sometimes it's perpetuated by the parents to do what their parents want to make them look smarter, to make them look better. When in reality, they're already smart and should be able to do what gives them joy. And it's what makes education look so awful, because kids feel like I have to do this to be smarter instead of learning something that is actually interesting to them. Learning anything should be something that we seek. You should want to learn the things you're interested in. You should want to go home and learn about things. You shouldn't feel like learning is such a chore and something awful and something that makes you have to stay all up at night and stress and worry because it determines your value. It should be something that's fun. And it's not. What happens is these kids don't get into their dream schools, and it is so depressing to watch that happen, because you know that the people around you who didn't get in are good enough for it. You know that they deserve it, but it shouldn't be a hit to their ego because they'll succeed and be amazing wherever they go. These schools aren't better, they're just richer, because most of these colleges are private institutions that don't really get state funding, and because they're so exclusive, they're able to charge more, even though you can get a quality education anywhere you go. This idea just breaks people's minds, and this is why Rick Singer is so talented. This is why there's a documentary about him. He was a marketer, marketing these students to college and marketing the allure, this promise that they will immediately get this status symbol. So of course he got into this through test preparation. These standardized tests have formulas. The help and aid that you get from test prep doesn't actually make you smart. You can memorize a formula to write any good essay in any AP class because they're looking for bullet points and certain structures. In a class, the first thing you're taught about any FRQ, free response question, short answer, long essay, is exactly how to write them to make it like what the College Board is looking for. It's not, how do you know this? What do you know about it? How can you apply this? It's, how can you write an exam? It doesn't really test your aptitude as it says it does. It tests how well you can take a specific type of test. And of course, test preparation and even these tests cost money. So these status symbols are often only provided to the rich and white. Again, there's the most famous line in the documentary is, they had every advantage in the world and yet they still cheated, because these colleges are such a big status symbol that this is what people have to do. Standardized testing always benefits the rich and white. They are not fair to others, and they don't usually test how smart or how much potential a kid actually has or how well you'll do in a college class, because college is supposed to prepare you for life, but it's also supposed to be a fun education. I view college a little differently from most people, and it's because I've had the privilege to have parents who both went to college for an obsessively long time, because they went to college when they could pay for it via only a summer job. Standardized testing is a business. The College Board is capitalism. I once got yelled at by a teacher for saying that, and I'm like, oh no. No, it is. It's marketing prestige, a way to make kids feel smart and better. It's a way schools obtain funding. So that's why everyone is pressured to take them, and you are told you're bad and worthless and awful if you don't. Because if you don't, you're not making money for your schools and you're not giving your money to the College Board. Essentially, the process is the College Board puts out these tests. The government decides, okay, this is how we're going to give funding. The teachers are like, dang, we need the funding, better get these kids to take this test. So they promote the test to the kids by saying, yeah, you gotta take them, but they can't really say that it's because, oh, we need money, because it makes them look bad. So you gotta make it look like there's something in it for the kids, so the parents are willing to spruce money on these testing, so they're gonna say, yeah, you can't get into college without taking these tests, so the kids are gonna stress and worry about it, and the cycle continues on. Yay! We love America. And teachers are nice. It's not really a teacher's fault. I've had a lot of very good teachers, but there's also gigantic banners hanging over the cafeteria in my school with the names of the people who have the highest GPA and do the most things, and they watch over you and make you look at the names of everyone who's better than you while you're just trying to eat your terrible, terrible cafeteria lunch. That's a different problem altogether. So, we have all of that. Now, how did I apply to college and avoid this trap? I was stressed out, but not as much. I was a sponge of stress, and I realized it before I freaking exploded everywhere to a pile of, I don't know, whatever's inside my mind. Not bones, tell you that. No bones in here. And I had parents who just wanted me to go to college. My mom said to me, it doesn't matter where you go, because everywhere has good professors. Everywhere has something unique and special, and you just have to find what works for you. So I found a place based on a few of its programs. It doesn't really have any prestige, but I found them based on their philosophy of teaching and on their commitment to interdisciplinary learning and make you a better, more well-rounded individual. It's small, it's not something people would know, and it's for me. I took AP classes, yes, but I didn't go down a route which would have made me miserable. I took classes I found interesting. I'm taking art history this year. Yes, it's an AP class, but I love it. I'm having so much fun. And I probably wouldn't have taken that if I was like, okay, I need the prestige though, and the things that are gonna make me look smart. And I think everyone can find a school like that. There's a ton of colleges in America, but we all wanna go to the same ones because they have this prestige marketed with them. And so we get really depressed if we don't get in them, and we feel like we're not valuable, but we are, and there's a place for you out there. It just might not be the biggest, most richest place ever, and that's okay. And we're not told that it's okay. You got into college anywhere, that should be celebrated. But schools lie to kids so they get stressed. It's a business. The product being sold is nothing, essentially. Kids are put in an environment that stresses them out so much and gives them all sorts of anxieties and takes away their value and forces them to be just a number, because that's how businesses see them. They just see them as money. Kids have to relearn their value, and it's super hard. It's not something even I've learned. Sometimes I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just another cog in the capitalist machine. And then other days I'm like, I'm good and I like myself. And school makes it incredibly harder to think that way. Kids are a way for tests to get sold. But you have to get the teachers on board, because these teachers are pretty great people. So this is why teachers get more money if their students are more successful. And they know it's bad. And they know they have to do it. And it sucks. The parents buy into it too, because the same thing happened to them. And so this scandal happens. They guarantee your kid will have every status sign by their name, and it's too much to resist. College shouldn't be a business. It should be an education, but it's made to be a business. And so a lot of kids can't see what you can actually get out of learning something, or having fun, or taking time to enjoy the experiences that maybe the college you want to go to won't offer. You're not this working machine pumping out essays. You're a human being, and schools don't make you feel that. And I can't say this problem will go away just because I think this way. I can't do much about it. The people charged for the submission scandal barely had a dent in their pocketbooks. No one more than a year in prison. Schools are still not getting funding, and Biden just put a Secretary of Education in who sucks. And let's not even talk about Betsy DeVos. And I'm glad this documentary brought it up, that they could have been sentenced or could have faced damages that could have gone to kids in underprivileged neighborhoods that don't have the luxury of having a diverse set of classes, or the classes that would give them prestige. Every school should be treated to the same quality, and it should be great everywhere, because education is important, because we are the future, right? Like, why don't you invest in it then? These rich people are criminals, but they don't act like it, because of course they can get away with it, because the system, especially America, is run on this money, and colleges and everything runs on this money. This is America. The system of money, power of the pocketbook, and controlling a population by damaging their psyches through the public education system. Anyways, yeah, so I was in a documentary, and it was very good. and and I'm very happy that I was in it, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope if you're a kid that you start thinking about college as a more exciting place to learn and grow, and you can still find a job that's gonna pay you well. And I know it doesn't look like that, I know it doesn't sound like that, but as someone who thought about what they were gonna go into for a while, I had to be like, okay, how can I convince myself I'm gonna make money? And then I did a lot of research, and it's like, oh, okay, you don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to be a lawyer if you don't want to be, because you can still find something that will make you happy and that will get you money. The problem itself is capitalism. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please subscribe or unsubscribe if you hate how I turned this into a rant about capitalism. See you guys in the next one. Bye.